clients through the neurology of their smile. So and thanks for sharing with me day 14,504 as a chiropractor. So if you do the math, that's close to 40 years. It'll be 40 years in September. I've been interviewed a bunch of times this year. This is an international podcast for chiropractors. And the polyvagal theory talks about human behavior based on the autonomic nervous system. That's kind of what I'm going to talk with you about today. Have you noticed some things different since the pandemic? Like, yeah. Right. So I saw stats the other day that absenteeism is 3 times that of pre-pandemic levels. I believe, and that's costing your businesses money. More people miss appointments. I mean, because we're very busy, we have very strict policies about missing appointments, and you got to give us 24-hour notice, and if you don't, and it's not an emergency, we can charge you, etc. Because it's not so much that we need the business, it's that I got talents here, and if people don't show up, my talents are sitting still, and other people want to come in. But you're going to find that as great as our practice is, and as well known as we are, we still have a challenge with missed appointments. But as people are dysregulated. You might find it harder to find reliable employees, like they say they're going to come to an interview and they don't, right? Customers might be harder to deal with. Like they expect the thing done the next day when it's been 2 months at their call. So how's it been for you? What else have you noticed? Anybody notice something different since the pandemic?
Work ethic.
What's that?
Work ethic.
Work ethic, yeah.
Yeah, my health got wrecked by the COVID vaccine, so.
Okay. Yeah, so all kinds of stuff going on. So let's look, when we understand where people are at, we can work with them easier. So on the right is our autonomic nervous system. On the left is people in three regulations of their autonomic nervous system. And so you see safe and social, you see a big smile, you see the person at ease. Now, does this pointer work? Oh, perfect. So if a person is regulated by this part of the autonomic nervous system, where you see the green all through the heart and all that communication between your heart and your brain, which is massive, if they're regulated by that, they got an amazing smile. They got a smile that turns up a little bit when they smile. And they feel safe and they feel social, they feel engaged, because when this part of the vagus nerve, this parasympathetic nervous system is working right, all these cranial nerves turn on in the face. So my lady with facial numbness, I couldn't get her with traditional rehabilitation methods for the cranial nerves. I couldn't make it happen. And what I had to do was look at her smile, and then I had to find out where things were off related to her smile. And as soon as I got her smile turning up, I knew I was on the right areas, and we corrected those, and we did that over several weeks, and we got her totally straightened out. All the facial numbness gone, but not with any traditional methods, by basing it on her smile, because I knew when I got this working right, this was going to all turn on. And so if people are no longer safe and social, they went through a bunch of stress and they've gone into fight or flight, and we all need to go there sometimes. If we have a big challenge in our life, we need to go into fight or flight temporarily to get the energy to deal with something, but we don't want to stay there long. If we stay there long, we burn ourselves out. We wear ourselves out. And we have people come in, like I got this gut problem. I take small bacterial overgrowth, for example. I'd taken these antibiotics. I felt better for 2 months, and then it came back. And then I took antibiotics again, and I felt better for 2 months, and then it came back. And it went in a merry-go-round like that. It's because they were in fight or flight. And the neurology to their gut wasn't working right, and so as soon as we corrected the neurology to their gut, then they can stay clear of it. It's not that the antibiotics were wrong, but they didn't have the antibiotics with the neurology. That's my big deal, and that's why we have this U.S. trademark that we have that symbolizes get the neurology with the rest of the thing. And so if people are in fight or flight too long and they've burnt out, they're going to drop into shutdown. You see the differences in the smile here. The smile turns up, Here the smile is flat, here the smile basically does nothing. This person is in shutdown, and so this is the upper part of the vagus nerve. This is safe and social. This is fight or flight. That starts along your spinal cord here in the sympathetic nervous system. And then shutdown is being regulated by all this. And all these people have tight guts. They have restricted breathing. So what do we do different now? It's on another slide, but we work on the front of the body as much as we do the back of the body, especially since COVID. So we open up their diaphragm, do some soft tissue work in here, we may tap it here. We release all of this. We release the heart, we release the ribs, we release the viscera, the bladder, the stomach, all of that, so that this part of the vagus nerve can work right and they can climb the ladder back up from shutdown back to safe and social. And when you have an employee in safe and social, you're going to have an employee that's effective for you. You're going to have an employee that gets the job done. When you have an employee in stress, they're just going to create fight or flight. They're just going to create more fight or flight because they're coming in fight or flight, and then the customer's going to react off of that. And then you got two people going rah, 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 back and forth with each other, and that's not a good deal. So the ventral vagal state, I got 2 minutes, so this is fun teaching. But again, this is I'm long, I feel compassionate, I feel connected, I feel grounded, I feel relaxed. You see them at ease, and they're regulated by this. And you might call it the water state to use terms that, because the water flows, right? So to use terms that are easy. And the steamy state, that's the hot state, that's the fight or flight state. There, I'm threatened, I'm anxious, I'm tense, and they're going to be all like this, posturally. And that's one of the ways we adjust people too, is we adjust them out of this posture, out of this fight or flight posture, and it's amazing what it does for people. If I can get this thing moving right. And then the icy state, they're frozen. They can't make a change. And they feel down and depressed and so forth. And can you pick out the smile that is living versus passed away? These are real pictures. These are people I know. Which on the top one, which one is living and which one is passed away? This is husband and wife.
To the right.
One on the right's living.
The one on the right's living, that's right. The smile turns up a little bit. This is the husband. He just passed away a couple months ago with really fast, rapid cancer. You see no change. His autonomic nervous system was not in safe and social. He was not healthy. I don't care what tests they might have done or whatever. That's why I can do all the testing in the world, but the smile will tell me more. These are 2 chiropractors. This one passed away earlier this year. Which one? I already gave it to you. I'm trying to hurry, but you get the idea. This guy, he teaches neurology, but he didn't. You see, his neurology wasn't right because his smile didn't turn up. This guy also teaches neurology, but his smile turned up. This guy had all kinds of health problems, even though he's a teacher for other chiropractors. So he's passed away. Patients' nervous systems are different. We work differently. And if you're more regulated, your employees are going to tend to be more regulated. If you're more in fight or flight, they're going to be more in fight or flight. Having a key employee that's constantly in fight or flight or shutdown can dramatically affect the tone and the sales at your business. I didn't tell my staff this, but our office is waitlisted, but I can hold 3 spots in August for you. So to hold 3 spots for BNI members or BNI key employees in August, and you got to get those by texting 270-554-214, and that's our office number. So we can only keep those spots open for a week. Winter's Wellness, Chiropractic Redefined.
Good job.